Welcome back. Today we're going to dive into one of Excel most essential functions, the date functions. This function allows you to work with date in Excel, making it easier to manage data related on to time. By the end of this tutorial, you will be effort at using date to handle date in your spreadsheet. The date function is Excel is a powerful tool for managing dates. You can use it to create date values, work with date data, and perform various calculations involving dates. It's perfect for managing schedules, project timeline, and much more. Okay, now let's move into in our Excel worksheet, and we're gonna use here the date functions. So this is the easy sentence, also the argument, and if I use here the date functions, then here you see the year. So this is the first argument, the year you want to create a date for. Then if I say this will be the 2022, then the next argument, month, the month you want to create a date for, so I use here the 3, and you can use also the 1 to 12, and the next one is the day you want to create date for, like 1 to 31st. If I say this will be the 15, then close it with the parenthesis. Okay, so here you got the date, and now you can easily format this one by using the number format, and use the year by using the custom. And if I use this one, the or I use the day for dd for this one, and this way you can easily make it. Okay, now here we got it, the day in there. So that's it for today's tutorial on the date function in Excel, and we have covered the basic sentence and example. Okay, so you can effectively manage date related data in your spreadsheet. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorials. Hello everyone, in today's tutorial we are diving into our very handy Excel functions that will make your data related calculation a breeze. We're talking about DATEDIF functions. By the end of the tutorial, you will be able to use it like pro. So let's get started. The first thing, let's understand what the DATEDIF function is all about. The DATEDIF function in an Excel formula that calculates the difference between two dates. It's particularly useful when you need to know the deductions between two days in terms of day, month, or years. Okay, now let's move into the example. Here I use the data with the customer's name, cities, department, dates, start date, and this is the end of date, and I want to find out the year of service and month of service or day of service. So right here the DATEDIF function, then I am gonna use here again DATEDIF, then parenthesis, then first argument I use the start date, then next argument I want to use the end date, then the last argument I want to find out years, so use here the y, then close it with the parenthesis. So here we got the years of service or during this time. Now if you want to apply the rest of data by using the tracking down, and you can get the year of service according to the data. Now let's move into the month of service. So we will use the DATEDIF function and use here the same way, just use the end date, Then the next one, we want to find the month, so I used here the month and close it with the OK. So here we got it during these days. It has the 36th month of the year, and if I want to apply now, you can easily drag in the year. Same way we can use for the day of service. Just write DATEDIF, then use the start date, then use the end date, then we will use here the day for, and it's also symbolize the day, and this is the unit. Then close it, hit on the OK, and here we got it, the days of service during the start date and also the end date. Okay, now apply to the rest of data, and here we have the days of service between the start date and also the end date. So that is, you now know how to use the DATEDIF function in Excel to calculate date. Different, it's a simple but powerful tools for various applications. Thanks for watching. In today's tutorial, we are going to dive into our powerful Excel functions, EDATE. EDATE is an incredibly useful function for date calculations in Excel, and by the end of this tutorial, you will be able to use it with confidence. So whether you are managing project, analyzing financial data, or simplify keeping track of dates, EDATE can be a game changer. Okay, now let's move into with the example, and I'm gonna use the EDATE function with this data. Here we used the date, month, and I will write here the EDATE functions. Now if I used here the EDATE, then it then returns the serial number of the date that indicates number of month before or after the start date. Okay, now first one, it the start date, so I use this one for start date. Then it the month, so select this one. Then here we can find, and here we get the month, so it was 14. Now we got it the 11 August, and now we got it the 11. Okay, so by this way you can easily calculate or add the month with your date. Now if I want to apply the rest of this one, you can easily drag it down, and it can be give you the EDATE functions. Okay, and here we and we found here that it was the June's, but it takes into the March, because we use here the -3, and for this is give you the negative month in there, and we got the result the March 30 and 2023. Okay, so that is for today's tutorial and how to use the EDATE function in your Excel worksheet. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial. In today's Excel tutorial, we are diving into a powerful function that can simplify your data related calculation, and I am gonna show you and while exploring the EOMONTH function in Excel. First, let's understand what EOMONTH stands for. EOMONTH stands for each of month. It's a handy Excel functions that help you calculate the last date of a given month based on a specified start date. This function can be incredibly useful for various tasks, from financial planning to project management. Now let's move into the example. I used here the few data with the date and also the month, and I want to find out the end of the month according to the value. So I will use here the EOMONTH functions. So right here with the equals and use here the EOMONTH, just write and use this one, then it's the start date. Let me use this one, then I will use the comma, then here it say the month, so I select this month, then close it, and here we got it. This is the date, but it now in the general format. Now let's move into convert as a short data or short date, and here we got it. This is the month of the November and end of the month in the 30. Okay, so same way, if I want to apply the rest of month, and with the month I can easily drag it down, and it can be give you the according to our conditions and with the month. And here we used also the -3, and for this it also takes you back into the before the June, so it was the June. Now it takes to into the March in there because we used here the -3. Okay, so let's wrap things of the EOMONTH functions is a variable tools for working with date in Excel. By mastering these functions, you can streamline various success and save time on date related calculations. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial.